What's up, beautiful people? We are back and we are recapping season 10 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Well, this season, Kiara and Wendy are having a little disagreement with Wendy's dismissive behavior, which she's been accused of many a times. Guess who's back? Monique Samuels, and Giselle says she was happy to reconnect with Monique and see if she's still the same person. And of course, the queen herself, the Grand Dame, has finally been released from jail and will have her season 10 premiere on The Real Housewives of Potomac. So listen, join me and Chronicles of the Gray Haired Diva as we recap this season of The Real Housewives of Potomac. And it's all in good fun, so make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to both channels. See y'all soon. Hey, good evening, everybody. We are here for a little pop-up live so that we can recap season 12, episode 4 of Married to Medicine, Trouble at Serenity Villa. Good evening, Diva. How you doing?
How you doing? Okay. Listen. I tell you what, Royaire, hands down, all the shows so far are giving us reality TV. This, give it up, honey. Give it up. They giving it to us. And I'm here for it. Every minute of it. Mm-hmm.
I am here for every second, Diva. You know, and like I've been saying all season long that we've been recapping, the people were listening to us, okay? Because we recapped last season, you know, and it was rough on both shows. We did Potomac. I think Atlanta did a little bit better than Potomac and Married to Medicine last season, but these last just a smidge. But the girlies, they came back. The producers came back. Bravo came back. Truly Original Entertainment came back, and they did the darn thing. Hats off to everybody on every show. The people are clocking in, they're doing their jobs, and they're doing it well, okay?
Come on,
Holla at the people. So listen, everybody, we are here. We are live on both channels, Chronicles of the Gray Haired Diva and Royaire's World. Make sure you hit the like button on both channels. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe and make sure you turn your notification bells on all. That way you see each and every time we post a video with you in mind. And then last but not least, I know it's after Christmas, but we can give any time of the year. So hit that share button, copy that link, and give the link to someone as a gift so that they can catch up on our recap of Married to Medicine. Listen, Diva, we are back from the Christmas holiday. It was a beautiful Christmas my way. Got everything that I needed/wanted. How was your Christmas?
I had a really good Christmas. You know, I'm enjoying the season. I just still am in shock that you know, it's the end of 2025. I can't even wrap my mind around that. No. But we at the end of 2025, and you know what? But life has been good to me, Royaire. It really has.
Amen. Same here. I don't have no complaints. You know, like I said, everything, all of my needs were already met. So I really only had wants. And the things that I wanted, I got, thank God. So, yes, I hope you guys enjoyed your Christmas holiday as well. Leave your thoughts and opinions down below on your Christmas holiday, and we'll definitely hit those up later on. But we are here to recap Married to Medicine, Season 12, Episode 4. And what an episode, Diva. This is only episode 4. So if this is what episode 4 is giving us, what the rest of the season is about to... I'm nervous to see what the rest of this season is going to look like, IT, because this episode, heck, last episode was a lock. We had Simone and Cecil, and they blow up. Now we got Toya and Eugene, and they whole fall out. We're going to get into it in just a moment, but people, I got some street news that we need to dive into and talk about.
So you better come for the street news.
Listen, let's get into our street news segment, everybody. Oh, Diva. You know, we're in the last month of the year, okay? And I guess the people just trying to get their taxes and bills paid, okay?
Doing something, honey.
Doing something, okay? So, you know, there has been some street news here recently. You know, apparently there's been another lawsuit filed against Tyler Perry, alleging SA and AS as well, and harassment. So, Mario Rodriguez, now he played in Tyler Perry's Medea's Boo Halloween in 2016. He filed a lawsuit in December seeking at least $77 million in damages. Rodriguez alleges that Perry made repeated unwanted sexual advances between 20 through 2019 at his Los Angeles home. The filing also names Lionsgate as a defendant, accusing the studio of ignoring Perry's alleged misconduct. We also seen another lawsuit back in June of 2025 from Derek Dixon, an actor who appeared on Tyler Perry's The Oval and Ruthless, and he filed a $260 million lawsuit for SA in the workplace, harassment, and battery. Dixon claims Perry groped him multiple occasions starting in 2020 and used his career as leverage to basically, allow this behavior to continue. Now, of course, Tyler Perry's team has responded. They're saying this is a fabricated scam. This is a shakedown, and basically a way for the people to get back at Tyler Perry for letting them go and not continuing to be a part of Tyler Perry Productions and studios. The people say, you hear something one time, we may not know. 2 times, my ears are peaking up.
Come on now.
I'm listening. Because the noise is coming closer and closer, okay?
Yes.
Tyler Perry 2026 is getting ready to roll in. Is there anything you need to tell us before this new year comes? Because it ain't looking that positive, sorry. We need some answers. And we need to know what's going on down there in Atlanta at the Tyler Perry Studios and in California at your house. Yes, sir. 2. They say 1 for the Father, 1 for the Son. Don't let us get to the Holy Ghost, because that ain't going to be a good look, sir. Auntie, anything you have to say on this?
Well, you know what? Oh, good gosh. I have a lot to say, because let me start off by saying this for you. I don't understand what individuals don't get about when you are an entrepreneur and you are the boss. So I'm going to start first as an employee type situation. Just in the real, just with us little people right here at the Starbucks, the Target, the Walmart, corporate America, the bank, or whatever, they do not like people talking to their coworkers, because they don't want that smoke at the job. It's too much. You and the coworker break up, and now it's all this tension, and y'all going back and forth. They don't want that nonsense in the workplace. That's why they said do not have a relationship with your coworker. And on top of that, they know that if 2 people are dating on the job and one of them is the manager, if I'm dating my manager for a year, I'm probably going to get over. I'm probably going to get to do some stuff that the other people don't get to do and get away with. You understand? That's why jobs frown upon those type of situations. Tyler Perry has a whole billionaire, not a millionaire, a whole billionaire who went to Atlanta and built a whole big studio where he could do movies, plays, and everything else.
Went from his car to a whole studio, Diva.
That part. This fool don't know better than to be messing with the help. This is the second person that came up with a very similar story. Actually, you know what? Let me roll back the footage for you. There's another young man, but unfortunately for that young man, he black.
Yes. So,
he's black, and he got paid off. He got this little payment. I think they threw something like $20,000, $50,000 or $40,000 his way. It wasn't a lot of money. So then when Derek Dixon came out, and he was suing for the whole 100 million, whatever crazy number he's suing for. That's when the black guy kind of came back and tried to say something, but he a day late and $1 short because he already accepted that other little payment. And now here come this young man right here. Tyler Perry has a type, allegedly, right? Because the men look kind of similar. They have the same hue, and whatever the case may be. I'm a believer where there's smoke, there's fire.
Amen.
But the problem I have with the Tyler Perry people and the Diddy people, how long do you stay in bondage before you decide, like, okay, I'm not going to let this person do this no more?
Talk about it.
And this one right here, he kept saying, the next time I went back to his house, and then, Roy, if I go to your house the first time and you try to violate me, you won't catch me at that address ever again.
What are we doing?
What are we doing? In the role you had in Bull, Medea's Bull, it wasn't even no leading role. So you get
several seats. Go have
and then it's a similar story like the other guy. He said he was writing stuff. I don't care what that man is writing for me. If every time I turn around, he's trying to grope me, fill me up, back me up against the wall, had me violate me against my will, I'm good. I don't need no role in nothing. Matter of fact, I don't even want to role in your school play. Get out of here.
Yeah.
And then, you know what? Just in general, Royaire, not even like, leave Tyler Perry aside for 1 second. Here's the thing that I don't get either. These civil suits are out of control.
Out of pocket and out of line.
They're out of control.
Where's the legal law?
With 77 million.
Yes.
Now, listen. What happened to Cassie, whatever it was, she participated in some of it, but still it was wrong. Mm-hmm. But Cassie was 10 years deep in that thing.
Yes.
And she only got 20 million. When you coming up with 77 million, these numbers are ridiculous.
Wild.
It's wild. And I think there needs to be some criteria and some control on the civil suits. And then on top of that, Royaire, I got to say this too with these civil suits. How do you still within the statute of your limitations? How do you get to just go criminal? If it's so bad, go speak to the police.
Yeah.
Go speak to the police.
Yeah.
If you want real justice, you really want to stop me, go to the popo and tell them how I violated you.
Because when does it become about you versus the community and the world?
That part.
Yeah.
So, I'm not, and listen, don't get it twisted. Do I think Mr. Perry here is innocent of 100% innocent? Not for 1.2 seconds.
Not at all.
And I think that a lot of individuals, when they get money, Royaire, they think they could do whatever, say whatever, treat you however, and they think they could get away with whatever. Just like, let's be clear, Diddy is Diddy. That money got him away with a lot for decades. No. Tyler Perry is Tyler Perry. That money has got him away with a lot for a long time. But now the gig is up because he should have saw that the tables was turning in 2023 when Cassie sued Diddy and then all them lawsuits came afterwards. Tyler should have woke up. Okay. Honey, when you see the blueprint on the wall, Royaire, you read the blueprint, okay?
Yeah, he should have woke up, but unfortunately, Diva, the behavior was already in act. It was already in that. So it was just a matter of time. But and I agree with what you said. And we've talked about this before. Uh-huh. Where are the criminal lawsuits at? Why is it just about the money? If this man has violated you, what makes you think that he won't do it to someone else? And you're okay with him doing it to someone else, just not you? It's confusing to me. It's mind-blowing to me. I understand that sometimes victims, I guess they need a moment to share their truth or to speak their truth. But baby, we are in 2026 at this point. If you don't have the boldness to step up and say what's going on when it has happened, you need to go on and go to your therapy office, get you some therapy, work that out, and move forward.
I'm with you, Royaire.
They said that this happened multiple times.
Multiple times. Lawson, see, I'm in agreement with this too, partially, right? It was consensual and everything was good when it was good. But then when it was bad and you figure this one's suing for 100 million, then I go to get in the lawsuit and get me 70 and say 77 million. Where are these numbers coming from? Where? Make it make sense. Just like, when I'm saying this respectfully, Kurt Burrows, when he up in the reckoning of Diddy on Netflix talking about Diddy violated me. Sir, you had 25% of this company. Sir, you was knee deep in with them for decades. And now
knew what was going on. And knew what was going on.
That part. So now you want to come to us in 2025 talking about he violated you. Kurt, whatever happened you think happened, I'm sorry. But stop.
You were a part of the problem.
That part. If he kissed you, you kissed him back. Now you want to come to us with the BS. I can't do it with you. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, we got to do better as a society. First of all, people need to do better in this whole sexual thing. You know, just stop it. Stop it. Just stop. Go to work, do your job, and go on about your business. If you are that desperate into needing something sexually, you need to do that outside of the workplace. The workplace is not it, number one. And number two, you may need to get some help because you may have a sexual addiction. And it's a disease. It's a real disease, and people need help with it. But this foolery, unacceptable. You know, and it's time for people to start taking accountability for the parts that they play in it as well. You cannot sue this man just because now you've seen somebody else sue them, and now all of a sudden you feel that you've been violated and taken advantage of. Where was this violation and taken advantage of back in 2016 to 2019?
And you know, he put Lionsgate in his lawsuit.
Yes.
All I want to know is, did you at any point go to HR?
HR, come on.
Or Lionsgate to say the who? You throwing them in a lawsuit. I hope you got some paperwork that proves that you went and told about this behavior and they turned the blind eye. The only thing I think Tyler Perry guilty of is not living in his truth. Well, he's
and
not.
I would agree. Let me say this, Diva. And I would agree. I would agree with this as well. But also, you were in your workplace having sexual activities with people that work for you. That is problematic. It's problematic. And it's
you are 100% Royaire. 100% Royaire. He not only living in his truth, but you also got a problem with your hands. Do I believe that he touched this guy's stuff and did all that? I really do. I really do. I don't think the guy's lying about that. But my problem is when you do confuse people, whether they're a predator or not. You confuse people when you laugh and smile and kiki and ha ha, and you keep coming back. Their mind is telling them, well, he ain't really got a real problem with that. He came back to my house again and again and again and again. If a predator is invite you to their house and you don't want no parts of it, why would you go? He never said in that paperwork, Tyler Perry dragged me to his house. It's a little different with Diddy. A lot of them were saying they was drugged, they was forced, they was this, they was that. He never said that. These two seemed to both be sober, and Tyler Perry came over there touching and a feeling.
And y'all was okay with it in the moment. Summertime.
When you thought you was going to get a movie or another role. But when he left you, see, you know what these predators do, Royaire? They lie, they gaslight you. They're all the same. They gaslight you, they lie, and then by the time you wake up and realize that it was all lies, you're feeling used and abused. But listen, that happens in relationships sometimes too, and you got to take the hit.
You better take accountability for your part.
You got to.
Yeah. But, you know, at the end of the day, best wishes to, you know, everyone in this situation. You know, we just living in a different day and time, and you just really have to be careful, and you have to value yourself and have something that you stand for. Because if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything.
That part.
Well, that was our street news topics. We're gonna go ahead. Yeah, Diva. I was like, we got to deal with this because
that's a heavy street news. You know, as we close that out and get into Married to Medicine, I will say this for you here. The way this thing is trending with Tyler Perry is leading up to, you know, from 2023 all the way up to now, we've been dealing with Diddy. I think this is the second lawsuit with Tyler Perry. Yeah. I think we about to hit the Tyler Perry era in 2026.
Well, you remember Christian Keys too.
Well, Christian Keys, he played footsie with it. He said the name. He never said the name. But I believe Christian Keys got paid off.
I do too.
Yeah, I forgot.
He had the pen. He had the pen that had the recording information.
You know, Christian Keys did a whole performance. He did a whole performance for you. And you know what? The Oscar goes to Christian Keys did a whole performance. And he got his money and he chilling.
And went on about his business.
Yeah, but you know what though? How many people you gonna pay off?
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, it's been done for years, so it's probably something that they're used to. But those days and times are up, Diva. Times are changing, and the people ain't playing.
Oh, you know what? I would, as we close this out, because we gotta. I'm gonna be Fantasia. Fantasia gonna talk about. Oh, Tyler Perry gave me these diamond earrings. Fantasia, that is not going to take away from what's going on with this being said about this man right now. Okay, hold on, let me share screen. Tay, I love you, but no. If he out here violating the people, he wrong. She talking about an angel on earth at Tyler Perry. He gave me 8K diamond earrings after mine were lost years ago. So he decides to give it to you now. You lost them years ago. He got a second lawsuit saying he a whole predator. And now he gives you some earrings. And he has always taken care of me.
And just because he an angel to you don't mean he ain't a demon to somebody else.
Child, somebody told her, Tasia, please don't get involved in this.
But you know, she liked to stand up for the rich billionaires because she didn't stand with her friend Taraji P. Henson when she was talking about Oprah.
They told her don't do this. They said wrong road.
Right message, wrong messenger.
Not Tasia. Please don't get involved in this. Child. Yeah, so that says sit this one out, Fantasia. Sit this one out.
Sing your color purple, girl, and go on about your business, okay? We see you, Miss Seeley.
We see you, boo boo, but this ain't wrong road.
But yeah, right. Better, you know, prayers to everybody, you know, hopefully those situations will work out and however God sees fit. And so best of luck to each and every one of them. But let's jump into our recap. We are recapping season 12, episode 4 of Married to Medicine, Trouble at Serenity Villa. Okay. So we open up with our scene. So listen, everybody, Diva, when I had rewatched this, I was just like, oh my God, because I had to kind of pick up from last week's episode. So I went and watched last week's episode a little bit. And the dinner scene last week, Diva, it didn't really register to me how much was really going on at the dinner scene last week until I rewatched it to prepare for this episode. Contessa did a lot. Contessa did a whole lot.
No, but Contessa came up with that dinner. She did. Brandy could have hit herself under that whole table at that dinner.
But it was only out of jealousy because your man won't do nothing for you. Nothing. Scott don't do nothing. Contessa had to move herself to a whole new state just so that Scott could watch the kids and take care of the family.
Yeah, but you know, if you're going to be sitting there trying to shade my party and say my man don't do nothing, then you're going to get some shade and smoke too. Like she said, I was underwhelmed. I would have been underwhelmed. The points went to Contessa at that party.
They definitely went to her, but in my opinion, it was out of jealousy. You were upset because your man won't do nothing for you. And like Simone told you, she about to be married 30 years. Her man ain't changing, so stop wanting to change. Stop it. Let it go. It's okay, boo. He is who he is. This is who you marry, and let it be what it's going to be. So we were picking up off of the dinner scene from last episode, and it rolled into this episode. And so at the end of the episode, you know, the ladies were, well, Contessa was, you know, saying that she would rather have a ring than a Rolls Royce. She'd rather her husband. And Quad said, listen, I got a ring and a Rolls Royce, so either of them really don't mean much either way. And so she said, you know, there are a lot of people at this table who really don't want to be married. And so Simone spoke up and said, well, who else doesn't want to be married at this table other than me? Because I'm ready to move on pretty much, okay? Simone, you know, she said she wants to live in a high-rise downtown and live her best life and let go of the rest of the people. And Jackie said, if you say that again, I'm going to pop you in the mouth. I was like, no. I said, come on, best friend. You better support your friend. You know, even watching that scene, and those of you who are just watching our recap, don't watch the show, the ladies are so supportive of each other's marriages. I mean, everybody at the table was like, Simone, don't say that. Quad is like, cut that out. Be quiet. Don't say that. You know, everybody is so supportive. So Brandy wants the ladies to come back and get in good spirits because the dinner has just completely gone outside of Brandy's party, and it's about shade throwing, husband mislikes, and everything else. So Brandy said, let's bring it back in. We got to change the energy. The ladies sang happy birthday to Brandy. And so they begin to get their shots and have a few drinks. Heavenly and Simone, they had a moment together. They hugged and shared a heart to heart. You know, Simone and Heavenly are kind of in the same situation when it comes to their children not really being who they want them to be, who they thought they were raising them to be, if that makes sense. You know, Heavenly shares that, you know, she doesn't know where her boy is at all. She hasn't seen her boy in about a year going on now. And so, you know, she pulled Simone to the side and they had a heart to heart, and Heavenly shared when she found out that her son got arrested, you know, her heart was pretty much broken. And instead of having genuine, meaningful conversation with her son, she cussed him out, hollered at him, went off. And he never said anything back, never disrespected her. He packed his bags, walked out, and left, okay? And so Simone shared, you know, I do the same things with my sons. When I see something that I don't like or I hear something, I fuss and cuss, go off, and I lose it. And they are both seeing that the ways in which they raise their children and how they handle situations are inappropriate, and it's not loving in any manner. And so, you know, Simone says, I've done that, you know, I completely understand. And Diva, this was a really nice scene to be able to see a vulnerable side of Heavenly, to see a side of Heavenly being honest about what's really going on in her life. Your family is falling apart. Things are not as happy as she has portrayed them to be in the last 12 years. Well, 11 years, because she didn't start season 1. But in the past 11 years that she's been on this show. You know, Simone said, you know, we created these monsters. And we can't be mad at the monsters. We got to deal with what we dealt, you know, what we created. And so Diva, that scene just really, it was everything to me. Because I said this, and I want to say I said it in the recap last week, but if I didn't, I was telling this to a friend. Simone cannot be upset at her boys because this is what you have created. This is what you set up. Heavenly, you can't be upset. This is what you set up. And so you can't be mad at people who are rolling in what they've been rolling in for 10, 20 years. You can't be mad at that. If you didn't teach perfect example, it was no way that your son, Diva, is going to go and spend $60,000 on a credit card. No way. Because you've taught him fiscal financial responsibility and you've taught him that that's unacceptable. Obviously, Simone has not taught Michael that he cannot go and spend $60,000 because that's what he went and did and had no issues about it. That's you can't be mad at him for that. You allowed him to do it. He did it. And now look at him bragging on Instagram talking about he got his Tesla now. This is what you raised. This is how you set it up. And you cannot be mad at it. Only thing you can do is try to change it. It's the only thing you can do. In my
No, I hear you. I hear you. The end of this birthday dinner, this birthday dinner had me cracking up. Okay, because I think Brandy's birthday dinner was an epic fail,
It
but
was.
it,
It was
it
a
is.
wonderful scene, though.
Yeah, I know, yes, wonderful scene with epic fail. Simone is going through it again with Cecil and the boys. I will say this. Usually husbands and wives are thick as thieves when it comes to like standing their ground with the kids. But in my personal opinion, the reason why I think Cecil is so connected with the boys side of it, because I feel like, I don't know his business like that, I feel like his money comes from Simone also. So it's like, in his mind, he's thinking the freer Simone is with the money with the boys, the freer she is with the money with him. And the reason why I really say that is because I never forget when Cecil, I forgot what season that was, when he took $10,000 out the account and Simone damn near lost her mind. So Simone lost her mind. That's all the girls are there.
Yeah, this is all the ladies. This was right before Christmas. They did a little video just telling everybody they're watching Married to Medicine on Peacock specifically. So I think they're trying to get the ladies to really push this Peacock app so that people can kind of move over to Peacock and start watching. But yes, this is the group of ladies. Here they are. Yeah.
I mean, it's nice. So, the scene with Simone and Dr. Heavenly, I did love it. And here's the thing. I feel like because we raised you a certain way, don't mean I can't reel it back in and fix that thing and change it. And I think as a child, though, you know how hard your mother is working. And for you to just blow $60,000 on a credit card is bananas. And then your mother is kind and gracious to you, and then to sit up there and brag online that you got your Tesla, I think it's just messy, right? As a child. But again, you said it. She's created this monster, and this is who he is. It is what it is. I feel like the other brother, though, is a little more laid back and calm. I could be wrong, but from what we've seen from him, he seemed like the laid back one. Because I cannot get over when at the dinner table he's like when he said, "Mom, I care." So I feel like she do have some type of balance, and when you have multiple children, you always going to get one that's a little more, with it. Yes. Like, so, and he's that one. He's the one with the to it, right? You know what I'm saying? So, but I do feel from their live that they all love each other, and it is what it is, and things going to move on. But I thought it was a heartfelt scene between her and Heavenly, and I like the way she said, "Listen, I do the same thing. I'm that way." The son that just left, and she hasn't seen him for a year. To me, there's more going on with that. It was the one that got arrested. There was a breakdown way before this arrest. Had to be, and then he had to be feeling some type of way before then too, because not one, you know who your mother is, so she been yelling and screaming. So now you're going to just take that and you pack your stuff and you don't want to say nothing to your mother, and you going for a whole year. I think there's more going on with him that they don't want to tell us. And so you're not keeping it real, and you're not doing reality TV. And I'm not saying he is, but if he's on something and this and that or whatever, just tell the truth. But he just packed and left, and I didn't see him for a year. I can't really get into her storyline because I feel like she don't keep it 100. And this daddy, why didn't you tell me? I thought that whole scene was fake and phony. So I'm just like, whatever. But the thing is, what she needs to understand, when you're going into politics, she's used to us reality people, and we just deal with whatever she gives us on the show. But when you go into politics is about as dirty as it could get. They will drag it up, pull it up, grudge it up, and we'll know all your business in 2.2 seconds and everything you was trying to hide, because that's what they do in politics. So she can hide it from us, but the truth will surface eventually, and it will come out, and it will especially come out if she really is going to stick to and do this politic thing. But overall, I felt it was a good, genuine scene between her and Simone, because they understood. Like, she's like, yeah, you know, just admit, and I do the same thing too. You know, and no, there are no perfect parents, because, you know, I have my soft and pink side, then I have my side where I just black out. And the kid got to be like, yo, you got to calm down. No, I'm like, no, I'm not calming down. And I'm like, no, I'm not calming down, because I said, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I do have a mix, and, you know, I'm trying to reel it back in my mix or whatever. But I think for the most part, unless your parents was somebody who beat you, was a drug addict, alcohol, whatever, you know, parents, we love our kids, and we want the best for them. And I do feel like her kids, though, you got to step up. You know, my kid, like, he got an internship. He does a teaching assistant job. Like, you can't just be taking just because you think your mother have it. Like she said, when's she gonna retire?
Right.
But good scene. I love the dinner. Thanks, Brandy.
Amazing scene. Great for the show. Dinner was horrible, but the scene was everything. Okay. I totally agree. I think, and just to speak a little bit to both Simone and Heavenly and their boys, I think, and Simone has shared this back in the years, you know, I love a rewatch Diva. Simone, you know, shared that Michael, their youngest son, is the most affectionate in the house. He's the most like Simone. And so I think, you know, she has built this bond with him. And, you know, when you build a bond with someone, you kind of expect more of them, if that makes sense. And I think that he is just kind of let her down in what she was expecting him to do. And I think that's where the friction has caused. And I think it's the same thing with Heavenly's older son. If the people go back and watch, Heavenly's eldest son was supposed to be in her dental office. You know, there was a few seasons ago where he was the one in the office helping mom do things and, you know, graduating school. And I think he just kind of fell off the plan of what she had. And I think it caused a combustion between their relationship. But like I said, this was a beautiful scene to see between Heavenly and Simone specifically. We have seen them have their true ups and downs throughout the 12 years of this show. And for them to find common ground in their family and their boys, and, you know, unfortunately, the situation is horrible, but to be able to bond in that, it's nice to have someone going through what you're going through and being able to speak on it as well. So excellent scene, beautiful moment. Shout out to Brandy for throwing this ratchet dinner, but it turned out to a beautiful scene, you know, overall in general. Great laughs, great conversation, and genuine moments. This is reality TV. Lawson, thank you for bringing this up. Diva, have you seen Mariah's recent YouTube videos of her talking about the original pilot that was offered to Married to Medicine?
I saw some of it. You know, Mariah, I feel, is doing too much now.
Are we hating from the outside because we can't get in?
I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. And you know, I love Mariah. I love
really her too.
But I feel like, girl, we way past this now.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling everything she's doing right now. Like, yo, if you want to come back, just keep it 100. Say you want to come back. But for whatever reason, they really dislike Mariah. Because Simone, I saw something with Simone. I think it was BravoCon. They asked Simone and Dr. Jackie about, you know, Mariah coming back or whatever, and they pretty much shaded her. I don't know why they hate her so much.
I think, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, I think Mariah really showed a side of her that the girls just did not like. She came off as Queen Bee. I'm in charge. What I say goes. And it just didn't line up right with the ladies. That's just my opinion. And I think, you know, it left a bad taste in their mouth with her. but we'll see. I don't know. It's definitely giving you hate from outside the club because you can't get in, Mariah. That's what it's
Yeah.
definitely giving. But I will say it was entertaining. It was funny. You know, I did watch the little YouTube series. And she had some interesting perspectives about these ladies. So,
Dawson, so what did he get? What did he do? She said some of
he
his
must have
conditions
a community service, mental health counseling. He must take all prescribed medications. In addition, he must meet with divisionary staff once a month to complete
diversion staff
to complete once a month to complete all mental health evaluations.
So is he bipolar or something?
That's what it's giving. And I can only say that because I have a cousin that is bipolar who does have to, do all these things. But that's what it's giving. He's a little, a little off. But best wishes to that situation. We never want to see anybody's son not doing well. So best wishes to him. And hopefully, he can come home under the right circumstances and they receive him in the right way. I think that was a lot of the problem, as Heavenly was saying. She was completely just out of pocket, cussing him out, going off because of whatever he did with the police. And I believe, Diva, everybody has a right to make a mistake, and there is a way that you correct a mistake. Fussing, cussing, and going off, that ain't how you correct it. You ain't do nothing but push him out the door. They didn't reveal that it is an urban belly okay.
Yeah, he may, just like and I'm not saying this is his situation, but like the Rob Reiner who son just took his dad and his mom's life. They said he was dealing with a lot of mental health issues.
Yeah.
So maybe unfortunately, their son is dealing with some mental health issues.
They're saying the same thing about Mary Cosby's son. He broke into his girlfriend's home, and so he's under evaluation as well too. So prayer to all these children. Prayer, because rough out here. And then being on TV and having parents on TV as well. I'm sure it doesn't make the situation any better, but excellent scene overall in our opening scene. So we'll move on to our doctors and wives check-in. Dr. Simone is explaining how patients can kind of avoid hot flashes or better ways to deal with them. She was saying caffeine and alcohol, cut it out because it makes it worse. So get you some water, get you some ice and sip, okay? Contessa and Scott, they're still working on their $1.2 million building that they bought. They still have $40,000 worth of flooring, walls, and ceilings to add. And it's going to be about 3.5 weeks before everything is complete, max, okay? Now, Contessa, you could have took that $40,000 that you spent on that party and put it into this building and been done by now and had the party at the building. I mean, office tour, we're open for business. And it's my birthday party. I got a building, a birthday, and a business. Hello, somebody. But you want to put wads of 20s sitting at the dinner table. Man, really? Take them same 20s, go on down to the bank and get them people that money to finish that building that y'all been working on for 3.5 years.
Makes no sense.
No sense. Priorities in the wrong place.
Totally. Party with my backyard with a cake. Nowhere I got a building that ain't done and I'm having this big old party.
$40,000 for a party, girl. And then Brandy is working with a patient on upgrading her smile line, and so they're giving Botox. Anything you want to say on those scenes, Diva?
I love to see Dr. Simone with her patients, and she loved to crack up. I thought it was a cute scene, and the girl said why. She was like, "Girl, that's alcohol." Cute scene. Contessa and Scott, when you have couples where it's always good if they kind of balance out each other. Contessa and Scott is on the same playing field. Okay, they both be missing the mark together.
Yes.
Like, I mean, he's like, 40,000 here, three more weeks. Y'all told Dr. Eugene, you Contessa told Toya 2 weeks. Now we here in 3 weeks, and you still got floors, doors, walls, all kind of stuff that need to go out. Y'all
and the designer said it was going to be about a month. Remember when the designer came in?
So they got all kind of crazy dates flying around. Those two are a disaster together. They need help. But like you said, Royaire, the main point is she should have never had that party. That $40,000 should have went into the building.
For sure. Lawson said, I would like to have Dr. Simone as an OB. She seems to have better bedside manner and is less judgmental than her counterpart. I would agree 100%. I totally agree. I totally agree. I totally agree. Fifi says Dr. Simone was a OBGYN many years ago. She really is sweet and compassionate as a provider. I see that. I see that.
Yeah.
I totally see that.
Dr. Jackie is very elitist.
Mm-hmm.
She got her nose in the air.
Type A personality for sure.
Yeah, she can't help it, can't change it. You know, that's just who Dr. Jackie is. Yeah, she's messy.
Yes. Very messy, very church shady. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So we'll go into our first scene, major scene of the night. We have Toya, Eugene at the park talking, okay? So they arrived to the park. Diva, they had a fabulous Porsche. That blue car was everything. I said, ooh, that is a fabulous color. I love that car. But the boys have been sleeping the summer away, and Toya said she don't want them sleeping the summer away. Eugene said that's how he feels that boys grow in the summertime, because they're pretty much hibernating and bodies is growing, eating, sleeping, and growing. And so she said, so you're going to support this? And he said, no, I'm just telling you, you know, this is what I think, you know, his professional doctoral opinion. Now, Eugene just worked a 7-day shift, okay, for 7 days, straight in a row, no days off. Now he's off for the next 6 days. He has no patience at Recharge Wellness, and he was saying he really needs this time, you know, to gather himself back together. Toya no longer wants to rent a space from the Metcast because it's going to be the supply closet. You know, she says she went into the building. Contessa has taken up all the greatness for her in her office and gave Eugene a supply closet down the hall from the bathroom, okay? So she said it's a no-go. It's as big as the space that he already has, and they don't need nothing about what they have. You know, they need a bigger space. Eugene shares that their lease is up and he is now paying month to month, so they need to figure out a space and figure it out soon. Eugene understands, you know, the goal is to work less and be home more, and he wants to do more work with Recharge Wellness. Toya wants to know why Eugene feels he needs to work himself to death and drive 5 hours away for a job. And so Eugene, he's confused. He said, is it me? Am I lost? What's the problem? Eugene said, you know, he's working less shifts. They just happen to be out of town. And he said when he was in town, he was working the same amount of shifts, if not more. They got this brand new house. They got cars, you know, this fabulous everything. You can't have your cake and eat it too, Toya. And that is exactly what Eugene told her. He was confused on what she was complaining about. Last year, you know, you were not doing enough, you know, and then he tried to step up and make more money and do more, you know, and it's still not enough. Every time we turn around, Toya is complaining about what Eugene is not doing enough of or doing too much of. Toya shares that, you know, she's home 5, 6, 7 days a week without her husband, taking care of the house and the boys and everything that comes with it. And it's a lot. You just come home thinking that everything is all hunky-dory and dandy. I put a lot of work into keeping up the home for it to be what it is when you come home. Eugene said that you can't have your cake and eat it too. There's a need for good ER doctors, and he can't turn that money down right now. It is what it is, okay? Toya said, and there's a good need for Black husbands and fathers in the home too. Toya would say that most men would agree with her, saying that a man staying at a hotel versus at home is unacceptable. Now, this whole scene, I'm just really through with Toya, because you got a man here who cooks, who cleans, who helps the kids with their homework when you couldn't, who going, you know, working all of these jobs, moving every other year, doing what you want to do. And you're going to sit up here and say that he's a bad husband and a bad father? Toya needs to go to the mirror and slap the first person that she see. What the heck? What do you mean? You beg for this man to do everything that you desire to be done. He does it, and it's still not enough. You talk trash about him, talk trash about his thing, complain about him, and Eugene is still here catering to you. making sure that everything you want and need is provided for. How dare you, as a wife and a mother, say that this man needs to be a good father and a good husband? How dare you? Trifling, disrespectful, so nasty, and so rude, Toya. Shame on you. Shame. Anything on this first scene, Diva?
You know, Toya is alive, and I just feel like Toya should be mindful that she's on TV, and I don't know, you're talking to your husband. I mean, this man had to work 900,000 hours to get them out of that tax debt and that bill that they had, right? For the record, teenage well-mannered boys who cook, and you have a maid. Yeah, don't, for the record, her boys are phenomenal.
Check her people.
And every time you see them on the screen, they're very respectful. You said that, Fifi. Yep, and they know how to cook. I think Toya just be doing too much in the way Lawson said Toya is bored. Maybe that's what it is. But you know what though? You can't expect this man. Y'all living in that house that is out of control. Out of control. The house is everything. You got a tree in your house. Can you imagine the maintenance on that, Royaire? Like this, listen, having trees outside, and those cherry blossom trees, when they shed, they be
sad, and they stain. They stain.
It does. So you got this thing in your house. I don't know. I think she does too much. She spends a lot. She had her taste is out of control. And I think that, Eugene is just trying to keep up somehow. And I feel, I don't care what nobody say, I feel that the men need to get some type of check from these reality shows because they're contributing to the process.
Yes, especially Lady Medicine.
Yeah, they need to get some type of check. I think, Sasuke said the tree is fake.
I was wondering if it was a real or not. I couldn't. Yeah. Okay.
Well, thank you for that because I thought it was real, and I was like, that's high maintenance. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. I just think she's doing too much. That scene was cringe to me. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, y'all. I thought the tree was real. I guess
it's real. No, it looks real. It definitely gives real.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think she does too much for you. Yeah. That scene was very cringy to me. Very cringy to me.
Yeah, it was very cringy, just very out of pocket, very disrespectful. Mm-hmm. Eugene, we see season in and season out. Eugene is working hard. They were in tax debt. From what we see, you didn't do anything to get y'all out of tax debt. Eugene worked all of those hours, all of those jobs, doing everything he could to get y'all out of tax debt. He did that. I don't know what more she could want from Eugene and how many more ways she can disrespect this man to his face.
I don't know. But you know what, though? He love it.
Listen, if he like it, we love it for him, okay? Mm-hmm. Look, Eugene, just blink 2 times. Let us know you okay, I guess.
Ciao.
Anything else on that, Auntie?
No.
All righty. So we move into our next scene with Dr. Jackie helping Quad with the baby. So Quad and King show up to Dr. Jackie's office. Quad is getting all of her lab work done, getting her not mammograms, Lord Jesus, sorry, getting her ultrasound to make sure that everything with her ovaries are well, to be able to carry the baby, to be able to move forward with having this baby. Dr. Jackie jokes around and says that she's gonna give King a prostate exam, and so King said he ain't getting none of that. All right, Jackie, Jackie is messy, church shade messy. Jackie introduces Quad to her head nurse who's working with her today. Quad, this is X, Y, and Z, and then pushes Quad out the way and say, X, Y, this is King. Like, girl, stop with your messiness. Stop it. Jackie is assigned to Quad as her state doctor in the States. Quad has shared with us that she is working with the doctor in Ghana in order to have a baby. She shared with us a few episodes ago. One of her friends who was 46 had triplets from this doctor in Ghana. So she feels that that's her best route to go in order to have a baby. Um, King seems to be very smart. King. Okay, they don't even live together, but they have a bit. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I don't understand, but okay. King seems to be very smart because King is in there ripping off everything that needs to be done. The what is it? What's the baby holding, Diva? What's the sack called? What's that?
I forgot.
The baby that the sack holds in. He know what is the cervix. He knows about sutures. He knows about making sure that everything looks well in the ultrasound. So, he's giving his little details out. And Jackie was shocked. She said, okay, we got a nice little smart man in here. And Quad said that he's very smart. So I guess he's a smart man. Jackie explains that Quad does have some ovarian cysts going on, but that is normal. She said that the ovaries is just like bones and skin. It constantly changes. And so everything looks good. King and King says, well, look, Auntie Jackie can sponsor our next trip to Ghana. And so Jackie said, yes, we can if we're going together, if all of us are going. The doctor in Ghana, she's going to send the labs over to him. And so he sent a message pretty much saying that Quad can go ahead and start her shots. So she did do her round of shots at the doctor's office. King gave her the shot. And so that was pretty much the ending of that scene. So anything on that, Diva? To me, the scene was just like, it was what I dislike, and I do need to point this out because it really pissed me off. What I dislike is how Jackie is so gung-ho about this grown woman who Jackie knows that she has a very small chance of having a baby, working with her to have a baby. But you had Sweet Tea, who was probably, 7 to 10 years younger than Quad, who was wanting to have a baby, had to have surgery, and you didn't do anything to try to help her to have this baby. Shame on Dr. Jackie.
Shame on Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie is messy all day long, every day. I don't even like the promoting of on purpose you're having a baby and you're not married. I'm not liking this on purpose, especially on a show called Married to Medicine. You got to make it make sense. It ain't making no sense to me. Now, listen, if you happen to be dating and you wake up pregnant, all right, then okay, it is what it is. Stuff happens. But on purpose, you're planning to have a kid into a broken home. It just don't make no sense to me. And King don't even really it seemed like he's really that into Quad like that. Okay. And low key, there's times where I feel he's low key disrespectful to Quad, but you know what? She another one. Is she here for it? It is what it is. So Quad so sweet. Yeah, she did. She was trying to steal it while Sweet Tea was still on the show. And so now you're going to Ghana to get these shots and whatever the case may be. You can't do IVF past 41 in most states. Yeah, but you know what? Some doctors are opening up more to it. These doctors kill me. They don't want to do IVF past a certain age, but they give you Ozempic, Wegovy, and you ain't even overweight. None of that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's stupidness. But listen, I'm just here for as long as it's not going to harm the person. Your King is a father. He already had kids. Because remember, she said he a good father. I was like, oh God, it was just so stupid. I just feel like, she's doing the most. And we're going to see later how he said that's why he just ain't moving in nobody's house. Mm. So King ended up giving her the shot there. I ain't really feel nothing for this scene.
Yeah. I was just like, okay, you so desperate to have this baby with this man who said that this is, I want to say he said this is a bullet that he's been trying to dodge, and this is who you want to have a baby with?
That part.
Okay, girl.
But you waited all this time, so you want to have a baby with somebody that ain't your husband?
That's not your husband, who already has a daughter who's about to go to high school. And he said, if this don't, he could have bought a car. I mean, what else does he need to say in order to show you that he don't want this baby? Not with you. He won't move in your house.
Probably paying him, she probably paying him so she could stay on Married to Medicine and get this check. Because just as me respectfully, Royaire, what else does Quad do?
Not everybody think they just. I mean, I know she had her little seasonings and her cooking thing. That's about all that I know about. You know, outside of Sister Circle.
Remember the puppy dog clothing line?
Oh, yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we ain't hearing about none of this stuff no more. Like, where's the stuff? Where's the stuff? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that scene, whatever. I was like, oh, okay. I wrote it down, but I was like, okay.
Yeah, what did Raheem say? A channel changer? Click.
Yeah, okay.
On to the next scene. Now, Diva, this scene right here, I love this scene. It made me look at this couple completely different. And I was like, okay, I got to lay back. I got to take my mouth.
No, we're on the same page. We're on the same page. Because I came up off of Mimi's neck after this. I swear to goodness, I came up off of her neck. I felt for her. I was like, all right, I'm going to lean back from them. I really am.
I'm going to lay low. I'm going to lay low and spread it wide.
Listen, I got some stuff to say. So when you finish, I do have some stuff to say.
So we have our next scene with Dr. Mimi and Dr. Stevie and their family, okay? So this is our full introduction to Dr. Mimi and Stevie and their family. They're riding in their car together, heading to a little surprise for the children. Now, Stevie and Mimi have 2 children. They have a son whose name is Stevie, and then, he is 8. And then they have a daughter, Savannah, who's 7. They are 18 months apart. They found out that little Stevie was diagnosed after pushing to get this diagnosis with autism. Mimi shares that she found a special summer camp for him that will be able to help with Stevie's communication, that will help with his challenges. He did get his autism diagnosis at 18 months. The only reason that they did push for the testing is because they noticed little things. Mimi shared, normally a baby starts crawling around maybe 8 to 9, going into those first years. They noticed that Stevie was rolling around everywhere instead of crawling everywhere. And so it pushed them to go get that checked out. And so they did receive the diagnosis. While they were in the car talking about summer plans, unfortunately, Stevie got a little overwhelmed and he had a little episode where he ended up hitting his sister, Savannah, while they were sitting in the back seat. Steve immediately stopped the car. He turned around, both Mimi, they addressed the situation. They let their daughter know that unfortunately he got a little overwhelmed. He got a little excited. And so he didn't mean it. Mimi and Savannah swapped places. So Savannah moved to the front. Mimi went to the back. Steve did talk to Stevie and said, we've talked about this. You just can't, go off hitting people and having a moment. You got to learn how to manage the issue, the problems and circumstances that you currently may be going through at the time. Mimi and Steve shared in their confessionals that this has been hard on their relationship. It's hard on the siblings' relationships. And so they're learning every day how to grow and learning how to be parents to a child with autism. And so they did get the situation under the control. And so they were able to move on with their day. They said it could have been worse. It could have been way worse, but we're glad that they got it under control and things worked out. Diva, when I tell you this is married to medicine right here, this is married to medicine. Not only do we have an actual doctor that's in the home, but then we have a child who has mental health issues, that they are constantly learning to deal with as they go throughout his life. And I thought this was just a beautiful moment to see on camera. I don't think we've ever in reality TV that I've been watching seen a child with autism or autistic issues. And just to see this moment played out on TV, to see how they handled the moment, to see how they talked through the moment, and to see that they are trying to keep this family bond and with each other. It was just a beautiful scene, beautiful moment. I said I can't say nothing else bad about Mimi and Stevie no more, because they just touched my heart. I cried at the moment. It was just an amazing moment for Married to Medicine. it was a top tier moment for me. Top tier, top tier, top tier.
It was definitely a top tier moment, and I did feel different about Mimi and Steve, after this particular scene.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I feel like we got something is going on, Royaire, where all of a sudden so many children are being diagnosed with autism. it,
Mm-hmm.
it just seems like something in the water ain't clean. Like, what is going on here? It's just you're hearing about this diagnosis more and more, and I just feel like there's something. It's something we're missing with that, right? In terms of why so many kids are turning up autistic. But what I loved about the scene is that it was real, and they gave us their real, true, raw moment feelings in it. I wanted little Savannah to get herself together, because when they did swap seats, she was still talking about, he hit me. I'm like, girl, Savannah, stop. You're better now. Okay?
Don't do Savannah like that. She is a girl.
Okay. And but the only thing I had, I know in Jersey there is an age limit. There's where before you can sit in the front seat of a car,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason is because of the airbags, right?
Yes.
So I was thinking, oh, if anything, mommy should have got back there and sat in between them.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think the little girl should have got in the front. But that's just me going in a nurse mode in my head. Like, okay, I know definitely in Jersey there's a limit. You got to be a certain weight and you got to be a certain height. And before you can sit in the front, because of the whole it's really because of the airbags, that situation. But other than that, I just I felt for them. I like their rawness and their truth about it. And you know what? And she said, shout out to all RK says, because the mother was taking Tylenol. Yeah, well, he's a well, anyway, let me move on. I just think there's something, right? I just felt like they was raw, they was real, and why so many boys too? Yes, it's something we are missing, and I just because it's just all of a sudden out of nowhere, it's like everybody's being diagnosed with autism, right?
Diva, I'm sorry. I think it has a lot to do with, and I know people have talked about this before, what we are eating, the diet, the stuff that they are putting in our foods, it's coming out. It's showing. It's really showing.
Yeah, I'm 50 ghosts, and my son had 7 kids, and the last one has autism, 1 out of 7. Yeah, I don't. It's just wow. But right, but you know what? I'm 50 gold. Back when my grandmother was having children, they were having 10, 11 kids easy.
Yeah.
And everybody was fine.
Yeah.
So the processed foods. Maybe that's it, Sasuke. The processed foods, because it's bananas. It's bananas what's going on. So do you think the powder formula breastfeeding is always best? But I mean, my son had the formula, and there's a lot of people out here that their kids are on formula. Everybody's not being, I don't know, it's just weird. There's something going on that we need to investigate a little bit more. But to go back to this scene real quick, I'll just say this, that I thought it was a good scene. It was a real scene. It was a raw moment. And I definitely looking at Mimi and Steve a different way now. I'm lightening up. I'm off of their neck.
Yeah.
I'm off of their neck because I wasn't feeling them that much.
I
swear to goodness, I said, you know what? All right, y'all got me in. I'm coming off their neck. I'm coming off their neck.
Yeah.
They can stay.
Yeah, I think it's food, and what the dietary thing as well, Diva. And I don't know if she did this as well, but I think also people having these in vitros and doing all of this stuff, not having children the natural way for those who can't have it the natural way. Do you think that has anything to do with it? No? Okay.
No,
because everybody had kids naturally back then in those days. Now we're seeing people, they're having to get help with having children. So I was just wondering if that was maybe something.
No, I think it's 100% the food.
Okay.
And I think it's everything now they have put something toxic. You almost can't eat nothing nowadays, literally. Even when you go to get the lettuce and the tomatoes, they tell you to wash it 1,000 times because of the pesticides and the this that is on, the fruits and vegetables now. I just feel like, and somebody said, yeah, other countries, the standards are way different, right? On Netflix, I saw this, it was called the Blue Zone. And it was these countries where they still pretty much are eating everything from the earth. They walk a lot, they this, they that. And those individuals, they live longer. They don't have the dementia, the Alzheimer's. They don't have the heart disease. So I think it's a lot to do with the food. I think it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, everything is so processed. Everything.
Process, yes.
Yeah.
Real issues are definitely correct. It is very authentic issue that people are giving. Yeah. That's why I love this scene. I thought it was, like you said, very authentic moment. So many people are experiencing this, and as like I believe you mentioned this, Diva, as Mimi said, shout out to all the neurodivergent parents out here that are figuring it out and making it work. Shout out to each and every one of y'all, and hats off to you, because I know it's not an easy thing and you got to have that support. So, shout out to everyone, prayers and support to each and every one of you, and keep fighting, because it's going to be better. It can only be up from here. So, yes, that was such a real moment. I loved it, Diva. I thought, especially specifically for us to be on a medicine show to share this moment, it was just such a beautiful thing. Is the chemicals in our food and the water that's not the best. I'm telling, over in Japan and other continents, they don't allow these chemicals, but the United States does. And
the United States, they're killing us. But you know what, though, too? And this big pharma, because they're killing us, and then they got a pill for, oh, you got high blood pressure because we putting too much salt in your food. Here, take this. Oh, you got high cholesterol because of this. Here, take that. Oh, you fat. Here, take Wegovy. Take what's the other one? Ozempic or whatever. Those cause so many other elements, but don't worry, they got a pill to fix that. It's just too much.
Even Weight Watchers has joined in on it. With this.
Ain't that a beast?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
So just a side note, real quick, Royaire. So I'm seeing this nutritionist now. And he told me, he said, the best thing you can do, he said, to the best of your ability, if man made it, don't eat it. If it came from the earth, eat that. Just try to do your best to eat more fruits and vegetables. I don't know what to tell you. You just got to do your best. That's all.
Yeah, do your best and forget the rest. That's all you really can do. But beautiful scene, amazing moment. And I truly enjoyed it. So into our next scene, we have Toya skip work day. And this is the setup for the party. Okay, so Toya has gone to each of the ladies, and she's told them, they need a day off of work. Okay. So Toya is preparing her party. She's meeting with the planner. She's getting everything set up. Toya, she does the parties big, loud, and proud, okay? And this is what she does. Dr. Jackie, she received a prescription that she is on work overload and she needs to take off. Dr. Brandy received a sick and shut-in slip as well. Eugene is working on the guest list. All of the ladies are coming, so this is going to be an all-cast event. Toya shares that there was a little situation that happened in their group chat, and she said, I did start the mess, Eugene. I did start it, but here we go. So Toya shares that she sent in their group chat that someone left a fake Balenciaga purse at Brandy's party, and whose purse was it? And so Eugene said, now, why you got to do it like that? Like why you got to start it off like that? And I was in agreement with Eugene. Like, ma'am, you already know that these ladies be coming for you. You know your house situation, and you gonna jump in the chat and say this and then be mad when they come back at you. Toya, it was the scheme that you set up to come to you with the BS, okay? Because that is exactly what happened. Heavily responded to the text message in the purse. She said, my house is paid off. Eugene said, well, I hope it is. You've been there for 35 years. Toya responded and said, let me go love on my family and friends who love me in return and get this party together. See ya. And so Heavenly said that she was in between patients, but she had to say this. She loves her man with his big thing, and your man's is little. So let me go. And so that was their whole text exchange, which kind of started off the drama for the day with Toya and Heavenly. Now, Mimi and Stevie are in the car and they're sharing, Mimi is sharing with Steve that unfortunately there was a text exchange earlier, so she's not exactly sure what they're going to be walking into. So be prepared because it could be really messy and we don't know how it's going to go down. So anything on that, Diva? Because we're actually at our last scene. Did you want me to throw that in too, or you want to talk?
You could throw in the last scene.
Okay, so the last scene was a lot. So we are here at Toya's workday skip party. There are Louis Vuitton pillows everywhere. We got towels. We got drinks. It's a home moment. So Toya said this is all about serenity. She is taking the ladies to the south of France in her backyard, complete with a bar, tender, freezy drinks, food, and everything in between. Okay. Like I said, this is an all-cast event. Simone and Cecil arrived first. Simone said this shouldn't be called a skip day. It should be called the day in life of Mrs. Bush Harris. Toya, she doesn't have a job, so pretty much you ain't skipping no job. This is your regular, everyday schmegular do. Mimi loved the house. She came in giving compliments on the home, saying it was beautiful. Mimi came in and sat down on a napkin, and Toya said, "What? Did you just sit on my napkin?" She said, "This ain't Heavenly's house." And so they played back my favorite scene of Married to Medicine, Diva. You need to pressure wash this mug, or we all gonna be contaminated. My favorite moment with Heavenly and Mariah. Hilarious, okay? So Toya, Toya started off with the negativity. Mimi said, we came in with good positive energy and you starting off with negativity. She said, but my house is clean. This ain't Heavenly's house. Heavenly and Damon, they show up, and they come in. And at this point, the party is getting jumped off. So Toya asked if Heavenly was still mad at her from this morning text. Heavenly said that she wasn't mad. She just came to get her purse. At this point, we have servers coming out in their bikinis and their little boy shorts. Nobody has on any clothes. We just got on swimsuit wear, either a top and a bottom for the girls or just a bottom for the boys. Some of the people were uncomfortable, and then some of the ladies, aka Simone, was here for it all. Okay. The men didn't want the men serving them, so they asked for where the ladies at, where the girls at. Quad shows up with Angel and King. King comes out and says he's uncomfortable, and Eugene said, why your shirt ain't off? We hired you to have your shirt off. So they had a little playful moment. The ladies come in, and so Toya gives them a tour of the house. They go to her closet. We see this cherry blossom tree, which was beautiful. Now, Diva, what I will say is I love a closet, and her closet was everything fabulous. She just keeps upgrading with the closets. Have you seen her house tour on on YouTube?
I did not, but you know what though? We already know this girl know how to do a house.
She know how to do a house. She got an elevator in the closet and everything.
Yeah, everything. She know how to do a house, but then you wonder why the man got to work so much.
Not you working 7 days a week and the 7 days in the week. So, after all of the festivities and the kikis and hee-hees, Toya comes down and she shares, it's time for the girls and the guys to play a game. They're going to play against each other. She wants to test the guys' strength because she wants everybody to be able to take their shirts off when we go on the couples trip. So, she tells Eugene to get ready or whatever, right? Eugene said that he's going to write the men a script saying that they cannot participate. They are excused from the game. So he goes to get his prescription. And so he writes everything out. Toya begins to break down, about how the game is supposed to go. And so Eugene, she said, go ahead. We good. Go ahead. Toya says, I need wifely and husband attention. You know what I need from you. Eye contact, please. Now, y'all, I'm not making this up. This is the stuff that Toya is saying in the actual show for those of you who don't watch this, okay? Eugene said, I'm going to keep on writing these. Toya says, oh, you are. Eugene said, we got doctor's notes and we're not participating. Toya said, can you be a man and lead the men to this side of the party? so that we can play this game. The ladies try to tell Toya, specifically Heavenly and Mimi, Toya, that ain't how you do it. Call them daddy. Be nice about it. Mimi told her to operate in her femininity. This is not how you do it. Eugene said, you can either be nice about this or you can be mean about it. She said, I've been being nice for 30 minutes and you haven't done anything. Eugene said he had notes and he is not participating, and nor are the men. Toya said she was done. She went on and stormed off and went into the house. Toya, Contessa, and Anila. And Anila was also at this party as well as her husband. Contessa and Anila went to go talk to her and figure out what was going on. Heavenly said this is not good energy for the new house, and it's going to cost too much for a divorce. Qua said, ain't nobody getting no divorce. They're going to kill each other up in here because they can't afford no divorce. King said, this is why he not moving into no woman house, because ain't no woman gonna talk to him like this. Eugene then gets up and goes to see what was wrong with Toya. He said, what's the problem? What's going on? Toya said, don't try to be nice now. You embarrass me out there. And he was like, what the F do you want from me? She said, don't start cussing at me because you don't like when I cuss at you. So don't cuss at me. Don't do it to me. Mimi then asked Heavenly, is this normal behavior for them? And Heavenly said, yes, this is how Toya talks to her man. This is how Toya and Eugene love each other. Toya asked, can you be a leader? And obviously it offended you because you probably don't feel like that you're being the man because you listen to what everybody else has to say. Eugene said, everyone took it personal. And Toya said, F them bees. I don't care about them and what they think. I need to go fix my makeup. I'm done. And so she walks off to go fix her makeup, and then Eugene goes outside to go back with the men. Eugene says he's been married almost 18 years. He'll deal with this. This ain't the first fight, and he'll ask for forgiveness and move on.
He said this too shall pass.
This too shall pass. Let's see. Stevie asks, was this normal behavior or is this extreme for them? Eugene said, oh, so you're trying to what did he say? Psychoanalyze us, yes. And Stevie said, no, we've been married for years and this is just how we operate, so it is what it is, no disrespect. Mimi shares that in marriage, your partner is always going to show the worst and the best parts of you. And so pretty much that's what's going on with Toya and Eugene. Eugene said that he should have read the room better. He knows that Toya was really stressed out about everybody coming over, and he took the joke too far, and he will apologize later on and it'll be okay. King said that he doesn't like apologies with an attitude. If you're going to apologize nicely, because an attitude apology is like an apology not coming at all. Quad said that she apologizes when she feels like she's wrong and out of pocket. And King said, you don't do it nicely, you do it with an attitude. I said, not King telling all the business. Contessa goes in to check on Toya, and Toya says that she's upset. She's not happy about what happened, and she's not here for the bad energy, and she wants Mimi and Heavenly out of her house. Contessa said, well, okay, I have no problem telling her. You want me to be the bad guy and go tell them they got to get out? Toya felt, that they egged on the situation between Eugene and her, and she don't want nobody a part of her friendship group that is not going to support her or her marriage. Toya felt the same about the ladies, that they were watching it like it was a TV show, and she did not like how everybody had something negative to say, including Brandy as well. We have a moment where Quad comes back there to talk to Toya. They try to work things out and say, listen, we don't want that bad energy. Let's go back out there. Let's bring the energy back up and have a time, and we won't focus on the negative that has happened. Toya comes back outside and she says, okay, y'all listen. Because she ain't here for the negative stuff that's going on. She then says, let's see, don't make her list all of the stuff that she knows about every couple up in here. Because her and Eugene are not perfect, and ain't nobody else in here perfect either. She said, y'all some hating bees, and if you don't like it, you can get out. She then goes off on Mimi and Heavenly, saying that they was talking about her and her marriage and she don't appreciate it. Toya said that she is not drunk and she not gonna let these girls smile in front of her face and talk about her behind her back. And if you can't support her marriage, she don't want you to be a part of her or her friendship. Heavenly said that we all got your back. The energy shifted. Angel said this ain't good energy to have in the new house. Mimi and Stevie, they said, well, it's probably best that we go on and go. I guess the party is over. They said goodnight to Eugene and went on. Simone then goes to check on Toya to figure out what's going on. And Simone is not understanding why Toya gives so much energy to Heavenly. And I thought it was very interesting that she said that, Diva, because just 2 or 3 years ago, Simone was giving this same energy to Heavenly when she was talking about Cecil. But I guess she's finally gotten over it, and so she's trying to tell Toya to do the same. Let's see. Eugene said that he's going to be in the doghouse pretty much. Heavenly said that she never said anything negative to Toya or Eugene about their marriage. She said, yes, you did. You always sarcastically make jokes about us and our marriage and what we do. Heavenly, then she decided to leave. She couldn't get the door open. Somebody came and opened the door. Her, Mimi, and Stevie and Dr. Damon all left together. Mimi said outside that Toya cannot receive anything coming from us right now, so it's best that we just go, and that Toya sees things from a one-sided relationship. It's all about Toya. King comes outside and said, well, maybe y'all should try to have the conversation again. I know it was hard, but maybe we can get past this. Dr. Damon said, no, me and Eugene are good friends, and me and Toya are cool. We ain't leaving because we haters. We just gonna leave because it's just the best thing to do right now. We don't want no more problems. Brandy is seen apologizing to Toya at the tables, pretty much said, if I said or did anything that offended you, I apologize. It was never my intention. Her and Toya hugged it out and had a moment together, and Jackie feels that everybody was wrong. Toya, Heavenly, everybody had a part to play in it. Everybody was wrong, but this ain't about Heavenly right now. It's about Toya. Toya shared that she wasn't, what was this part? So he shares that she was about okay, yeah, that was nothing really. But that was pretty much the ending of that episode of everything that went down. This last scene, Diva. I don't know how many more ways Toya can disrespect Eugene in public, at home, in private. Dr. Jackie said it best. If you talk to him like this with company, what do you talk to him outside? How do you talk to him outside of company when he's around? When you have a party, you can't force anybody to do anything at it. The men wanted to come, kick back and chill. Let them come, kick back and chill. You could have moved on with the party and played with the ladies and whoever else wanted to play. But to ruin a whole moment, disrespect your husband, disrespect your own home, which you say your boys are upstairs in, and this is how you showing them that it's okay to treat their husband and for them wives to talk to them like this. Toya, it was out of pocket, out of line, and unacceptable. Apparently things ain't too good in the hood with Quad and King either, because Quad is giving nasty apologies to King and he ain't accepting them, and he ain't moving into her house, and he don't want to have his baby with her. What exactly are we doing?
Listen, this scene was a hot stinking mess. Toya is definitely a spoiled brat, and when Toya does something and she wants something to go her way, she wants it to go her way, and she was mad that Eugene didn't get up and help her make things go her way. Do I think that she talked to him out of pocket, out of line? She did. But you know what? I think Eugene, he knows who he married. Like he said, they're 18 years in. And he said he gonna fix it later. He ain't sweat it that big. You know what I'm saying? The rest of them, Dr. Heavenly chiming in and all of that, and Mimi chiming in. Let's be clear. All relationships have their thing that they go through. Toya's been doing this for years. It is what it is. If I back up when, to the conversation where, her and Heavenly went back and forth about the bag and the man size. Well, Dr. Heavenly always goes left.
Mm-hmm.
Always goes left. It is who she is. I'm not saying this right, but it's a hot stinking mess. But that's who Dr. Heavenly is, right? What else can I say about this scene? The fact that she wanted to kick them out was hilarious to me. Okay, she said they got to go, and Dr. Contessa was like, "I'll go tell them." I mean, it was just, the whole thing was just a hot stinking mess, right? And Toya is bratty. She's bratty. There's nothing else to say about it. The girl is bratty, and but I will back up and let me say this for you. I think them always sexualizing things, it's too much. It's over the top. The men serving in their underwear or whatever you want to call it, the ladies serving in their bikinis. I just think, I was like, really, it's just too much. And you're talking about, these are all couples. Why do we need people coming there serving like this? Like, I don't know. I just thought it was ridiculous. And that part I didn't like. I was just like, it's just stupid to me.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect anything less from Toya. This is what she always does, so I wasn't surprised at all. What really, and not surprised me, but what just really took me aback is that Toya thinks that this is okay to just completely be so disrespectful in front of company. Like, I was just like, Toya, like, this is not how you do it. And as Mimi said, operate in your femininity. If you really want your man to do something, you know how to get it done. This was not the way to do it. This was not the way to do it. And for people to know that this is how you and Eugene operate on a consistent, well, at least this is how you talk to Eugene on a consistent basis, nobody should know how you talking to your husband just any kind of way. Like, that should not be a thing, in my opinion. But for it to continuously be a thing, for it to continuously go on, at this point, Diva, I just be looking at the TV like, well, Eugene take it, so what can I say? And that's really what it is. I think for Contessa to be so gung-ho about putting somebody out, ma'am, stop it. Girl, go figure out your issues with your husband and stop worrying about everybody.
Your building. Okay.
I think that Mimi and Stevie came in with a positive attitude, giving compliments to the home, trying to be positive, you know, and they are new to the group. So I didn't see anything wrong with Stevie's question. Is this y'all normal behavior or is this extreme for y'all? Because if this is y'all normal behavior, I need to mind my business and act like I don't even see nothing going on. But if this is extreme, maybe we can step in as a couple and help y'all as a couple. But we've been seeing Toya Eugene like this for 12 years. Nothing is going to change. He's okay with it. She okay with it. So let everybody else be okay with it. King, you trying to bring them back in the house? Obviously, you all about the drama, sir. You like the drama. You like the mess. Because why would you want to bring them back into a situation that already ain't working out and causing more issues? Sir, go on about your business. You worry about what you and Quad got going on. Don't worry about the rest of everybody else. It was a mess. It was a mess.
And Dr. Damon always trying to act so self-righteous.
Him and Dr. Jackie should be married because they are two peas in a pod.
Yes, they are. Yes, you called that, Royaire. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
They are two peas in a pod. Nose just all up in the air. Can't see nothing beneath it. Nothing beneath it.
I'm friends with both of them. I'm just going to leave Dr. Damon go. Because you can, when you come to a party, you don't come in character. If it requires you to come in character, I'm over you. Go to, you know what? Tell us the truth about your son.
Tell us the truth about you.
Well, and the baby formula. But we'll move on.
Okay. We'll let it go. Let it go. But that was our recap of season 12, episode 4 of Married to Medicine. What a great episode. Definitely a lot of cringy moments in between Eugene and Toya. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's cringy because there's no way any of them would support this if Eugene talked to Toya like that. It's too disrespectful. And it is. It is. It definitely is. It definitely is.
Oh. Well, Dr. Damon.
I am 50 go. We finna put you on punishment.
You going to timeout.
Oh my God.
Hilarious. Other stuff to talk about. Okay. But you know what, Roy, if I had to rate this episode, you know what? I'm going to give it a 10.
Oh my God.
And the reason why I'm going to give it a 10 is for Mimi and Steve and that whole scene. So real. So heartfelt. And it really gave me, I did a 360 turnaround with them, literally. Yeah. I did a 360 turnaround. I lightened up off of them because I was not really feeling them like that, right? Especially because I felt like the way she did Sweet Tea and you were supposed to be friends. Right. Even if you were not truly friends, but but the way they played it on the show, like they was bringing you in as y'all was friends, you didn't do her right. You did her dirty. Yeah. So that's why I was like giving her the side eye, but that scene right there, they made me come in. Yeah, we ain't forget.
We ain't forgot it all. Listen, at the end of every recap, we like to get your thoughts and opinions in a rating form. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, please leave your ratings down below in the comment section, and we will go through those in just a moment. Overall, Diva, I am totally with you. A 10 out of 10 this week. I mean, the party that Toya threw, it was a fabulous party outside of the bodies that was walking around butt naked, or half naked. But I truly enjoy, if you're going to have a party, this is how you do it. Potomac, take note. Okay? Giselle, take note. This is how you throw a party outside. This is how you do an event. It was fabulous. Fabulous. We had drinks. We had good food. We had celebration, even though the celebration turned into a fight. But this is how you party, okay? I loved it. Mimi and her husband's scene, excellent. The beginning scene with Simone and Heavenly, excellent. I mean, this was just great scenes across the board this episode. I truly enjoyed it, and it's a 10 out of 10 for me. I am enjoying Married to Medicine this season. It is keeping my attention. I'm slowly trying to grow onto Angel and Brandy. I don't really know much about them still yet, so I'm still kind of paused on them. But Mimi and Steve, y'all got me. Y'all got me locked in, and I'm here for y'all. So great episode overall. Forever is giving this episode an 8. Okay. I Am 50 Gold is giving it a 10. We are getting a 10 from Lucille, I believe that is. Sass is giving it a 9. Janet is giving it a 9. Original is giving it an 8. Toadette is giving it a 10. All right. Linda is giving it a 9. Tracy is giving it a 10 as well. Well, all right. Married to Medicine won.
Yeah, they did. Stepped it up.
Yes.
Stepped it up. Yeah, they did. And you know what, though, too? The scene between Simone and Heavenly.
Yes, that's what I was. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Excellent scene.
Yeah.
Angel is it Angel or Angela?
I think her name is Angel. She's supposed to be Quad friend. But that's why every time she shows up with Quad and King. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think she's a nurse too, of some sort.
She is a nurse. Mm-hmm. She's a nurse. Yeah. Yes. So overall, great episode, great recap. Totally enjoyed it. Listen, we go live on both of our channels, so make sure you hit the like button on Royaire's World and Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to both of our channels. You can do that by going to Royaire's World or Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva and hitting that subscribe button. So we appreciate you all for joining us. Make sure you continue to join us for our recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac. We do that every Monday at 6 p.m. I'm not sure if they're releasing an episode this week, so stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Because wait, they come on Sunday. Sunday is
what's Sunday?
Sunday is not no. They might be releasing it Yeah, because Sunday is not the holiday yet. It's not the New Year's yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
New episode. Let's see. It'll be episode 13. So it's looking like they are going to release episode 13 on Sunday, from what I can see. Yeah, from what I can see. So stay tuned to our channels to catch that recap as well. And then we are doing Married to Medicine as well. And then Potomac should be doing their reunion soon as well. Oh man, I missed the live. I'll definitely go back. Okay, appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you for stopping in. But make sure you stay tuned to that. Diva, I've seen that they put Kimura's show on Peacock, so we may be able to do that now. I know we're behind, but we can still go back and do it. You know,
yeah, we can.
We'll go to 30 minutes episode, but we can definitely knock those out.
Yeah.
But stay tuned to our channel. Make sure you continue to check out Diva for trending topics every night at around 8 p.m., 8:30. Make sure you join her for that. And then make sure you're checking out her trending topic videos that she drops throughout the day as well. So make sure you stay tuned to those. We are going to be dropping one short a day starting in the new year. So we ask that you tune into our shorts on our channels. We have already started. I seen your snowman short, girl. I was like, okay, Diva.
What's snowman by the neighbor?
I said yes. Okay, Sash, you said you love Kimura. Okay, I love her too. Okay. So we're gonna check that out, and we'll be back for the recap for that as well. So stay tuned with us for that. Atlanta is wrapping up their season as well now, so we will be recapping the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and then Next Gen NYC is still filming for their show, but we will be with that as well. Anything else before we get out of here?
No, that's good. We did good.
Well, listen, we appreciate each and every one of you for joining us. If you didn't hit the like button on the way in, hit the like button on the way out. I hope you enjoyed the Christmas holiday, and New Year's is coming up, so be prepared for that as well. I hope that you got all of the great things that you wanted for Christmas, and get ready to plan for your New Year's. If you haven't started planning already, you're late. So catch up on the train and start planning for your 2026, because a plan does nothing but set you up for success, okay? And we are going to be successful in all we do in 2026. So we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe, and we will catch y'all on our next live. Good night and goodbye, everybody.
Y'all.
Royaire's World.